For far too long, South American drug cartels have gone unchecked as they funnel illicit drugs into our country that kills our people. But those days are over because the buck stops with President Trump. This week, our military launched another strike on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean. And despite Nicolas Maduro's best efforts to have these strikes declared illegal by the UN Security Council, President Trump can't be intimidated, and he isn't letting up anytime soon. In fact, he's now weighing a direct land hit. And just this week, he even authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations within Venezuela.
Retired Navy SEAL Commander Jocko Willink faces off against the AOC in this heated debate about masculinity. Watch this.
Joining me now is retired Navy SEAL commander and New York Times best-selling author Jocko Willink. Jocko, welcome to My View. I am such a fan of yours and all you stand for. You're all about getting the job done, about work ethic and all of those things. We have a president who's getting the job done. He's not going to be intimidated. He's sending a strong signal out there. We've seen multiple strikes now on these Venezuelan drug boats so that they can't bring illicit drugs into our country. And listen to what the president had to say about what he thinks might come next.
Let's be real. This isn't about saving lives. It's about projecting power. Politicians love to wave the strong signal flag when they are flexing force abroad. But how many times have we seen this script? While external strikes make great headlines, but the fentanyl crisis isn't coming from some flashy boat chase. It is flooding through our own borders and policy failures at home. So while Trump's image gets polished as decisive, the real war is domestic, and they are too busy posing to fight it.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control. We've had a couple of days where there isn't a boat to be found. And that, I view that as a good thing, not a bad thing. Every boat is saving 25,000 lives, and you can see it. The boats get hit, and you see that fentanyl all over the ocean. We're going to stop them by land also.
All right, so he says he's going to stop them by land also. We may see our military dealing with, some of these drug cartels on land. What do you think of that tactic? Is that the best next move?
Well, I think Tom Clancy wrote a novel about this years ago called Clear and Present Danger, which was about attacking the Colombian drug lords down that were killing Americans through their drug trade. And this is the same thing that we see now, but it's taken a long time until finally someone steps up and is doing something about it. These drugs kill 100,000 people a year in America, and it certainly seems like we should be taking action, and it certainly seems like President Trump is taking action.
Yeah, he's not afraid to do the right thing to protect the American people. I'll tell you somebody, Jocko, who's probably not thrilled with it is Nicolas Maduro.
That is the classic hero worship moment. Whenever someone says a politician is not afraid to do the right thing, what they usually mean is doing what my side likes. Protecting Americans sound noble, but ask yourself, which Americans? Because while they celebrate strikes in Venezuela, veterans can't afford rent, and young men at home feel lost, disposable, and blamed for everything wrong in the culture. That is not protection. That is political performance, dressed up as patriotism.
And while this administration hasn't gone so far as to say that they are advocating for regime change, I think a lot of people are hopeful that he takes his socialist grip off of the Venezuelan people. So what's your take on what we might see there? Could we possibly see all of this resulting in a regime change and new leadership for the people of Venezuela?
There's no doubt that this activity is going to cause all kinds of disruption to the economic systems down there, the political systems down there. And this is the kind of thing that can lead to uprisals in the country. So there's going to be a lot of pressure. It'll be interesting to see the way it plays out. And I think we'll be finding that out in the coming months.
Well, speaking of crazy socialists and people who apparently are hell-bent on destroying things, AOC did a bit of a CNN town hall this week, and listen to what she had to say about Republicans apparently radicalizing young men. Listen to this.
They are able to radicalize and target and exploit a generation of young boys, in particular, away from healthy masculinity and into an insecure masculinity that requires the domination of others who are poorer, browner, darker, or a different gender than them.
Is the turning point. AOC claimed that Republicans are radicalizing young men. But let's call it what it is: moral panic politics. She's painting masculinity as the threat instead of the solution. When you attack competition, hard work, and discipline, you don't fix men, you create resentment. And that's exactly what Jocko nails. He does not get angry. He calmly dismantles the narrative, showing that strength, discipline, and assertiveness is not toxic. They are foundational. But here's the truth. The left war on masculinity pushed young men away. They didn't radicalize it. They woke up.
Jocko, you've written a book series, Way of the Warrior Kid. You talk about lessons you learned as a Navy SEAL and in all of your training there. So I would love to get your take on what you just heard there from AOC. Do you think Republicans are radicalizing young men?
No, actually, I would say the opposite. I think that it's actually the left-wing radicals that have done more to push young men towards conservative because they've been telling for the last several years, they've been saying that these young men are evil, that competition is bad, that hard work is bad, that the military is bad, police are bad. They're saying that steak and V8 engines are bad, and that family and God and country are bad. And when you continually beat people down with those types of things, they're going to react to it. And I think they're trying to get young men to suppress their natural instincts to be strong, their natural instincts to be assertive, their natural instincts to be protective. And when you try and suppress someone, what do? They're going to lean back into their natural instincts. And so I think that the left wings, the far left, might be imposing their views too much. It's not the GOP that's radicalizing young men, but I would say that young men are waking up. Young men are realizing that it's actually okay to be strong. In fact, it might be good to be strong. It's actually okay to have goals. It's okay to want to win. And those aren't radical views at all. Those, to me, are just American values. Those are just hard work and discipline and respect and patriotism. And I do not believe, and I don't think that most people believe, that patriotism is a radical view. And yes, I put those values out inside my kids' books, Way of the Warrior Kid, where young girls and boys can recognize that things like hard work and discipline will pay off in the long run, and that is the American way.
Well, I'll tell you, that's how Eric and I are raising our kids. So I'm grateful that you have a book series out there and that you're all about that too. There are a lot of moms and dads who have changed their tune and they want their kids to get on the path that you're talking about. We still have the government shutdown dragging on. You obviously are a veteran. We are so grateful for your service to our country. And we had 1.3 million active duty military members, Jocko, who were about to lose out on a paycheck. But President Trump stepped in and he said, I want to make sure the Pentagon gets these men and women, our service members, paid. Tell me, what does that mean to have a president who is willing to fight for our military members in the same way they're willing to fight for all of us?
Yeah, it's outstanding, and you really can't have it any other way. We've got these young men and women that are out there. They've got to defend our country. They've got to focus on their mission. And the last thing we want them to be worried about is paying their rent, paying their mortgage, making their car payments. We don't want them thinking about that.
Finally, Jocko brings it home and is dead right about it. You can't tell young Americans to serve your country while they are one paycheck away from eviction. And that is where Trump's support for the troops sounds great. Until you realize how many politicians wave the flag while cutting the budget that keeps the same troops stable. So yeah, it's a good move to pay them, but let's not pretend it's charity. It is bare minimum, and it is what leadership should always do. Let me know your thoughts on the story in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, always keep thinking.
So amazing move by President Trump and the Secretary of War to get the troops paid so they can continue to do their job and fulfill their mission.
Amen to that. We are grateful for every single one of them, and we're grateful for you joining us here on My View tonight. Thank you so much, Jocko. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.